From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Christine Corau. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Ruben. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So, can you tell me how long you've been a vocal coach for?
I've been doing my vocal coaching and singing teaching for about 14 years now. So I retrained. I used to be a pharmacist many moons ago, and I left pharmacy. I retrained, and so I've been doing my singing lessons for 14 years now, and I really enjoy it because it's all music. So it makes me happy.
So, can anybody be a singer?
Everybody's got a singing voice. Some people, I suppose, are have more of a natural ability to start off with, but that doesn't mean to say that if you haven't got the the natural ability of, say, Beyonce, that you can't train to become a much better singer. A lot of people say that they're tone deaf, and in my experience, I've never come across anybody who's actually tone deaf. Some people struggle a little bit more with pitching, but otherwise everybody, I think, has the ability there. It's just some need a bit more practice than others, like with any instrument.
Your voice is an instrument, after all.
It is indeed, that's right. People forget that as well, but it is, and it's quite a precious one because you can't change it or swap it for another one.
So, can you briefly run through what's the process if a person comes through that door behind you there? How do you go about it?
Well, even if they've had singing lessons before, I tend to go through what I call a bit of a consultation. That sounds really formal, but it's not. But I'd sort of get an idea of the background, what they're wanting to do with the singing, what they've done beforehand, what they think of their voice. So I get sort of like a general picture of them and their voice, and then I do a bit of an exercise with them so I can get obviously an idea of what they sound like and how they use their voice throughout their range. And then I put them on the spot in the nicest way possible to sing me a song, just something that they feel comfortable singing, just so I can see how they translate their singing into an actual performance, into an actual song. And then we take it from there. So we'll go through like basic breathing techniques, posture, alignment, lots of resonance, registers, all the techie singing stuff as well.
So, how long have you doing singer-songwriting for?
Oh, too long to mention. This is going to give away my age now. So I've been writing songs. I started playing guitar when I was about 11, 12, and then I started writing songs probably about 3 years after that. So probably from my mid-teens, about 15, 16, I started writing. And so it's coming up to about 40 years that I've been songwriting for now. So there you go. Everybody can start working out my age and go, I wonder how old she is.
So, I'm guessing you went to recording studio when you first released your debut single.
Actually, I didn't. I've actually the last few years, songwriting's always gone sort of to the back of the pile, I suppose, over the last sort of, I'd say, 20 years. I decided about 3 years ago that I wanted to bring it back to the forefront. So I I signed up for a master's in songwriting with Bath Spa University. It was an online course and a 2-year course. So that sort of kicked me into actually bringing the songwriting back to the forefront and focusing a lot more time on it. But I also joined at the same time. I found a group of lovely ladies called Female DIY Musician, that's run by Isabel Anderson, that gets women basically more confident in recording themselves, producing themselves, mixing, mastering, all those sorts of skills. And I suppose that, together with my course, because I had to do production on my master's course, actually put me into the position where I had to do it, and I didn't have the luxury of going into a recording studio. So everything I've recorded for my singles and for my album as a whole has all been done in this room here.
Oh, that's good. So you've got your home recording studio.
Indeed, I have, yes.
So this saves on costs, I guess.
Absolutely, yes. I still got it mixed and mastered externally because I didn't feel confident I could get the right end sound myself. So there's still costs there, but being able to produce yourself, it just gives you so much more flexibility as well. Experimenting, trying out different things, being able to produce in your own studio and having your own gear and everything. So it does give you a lot more flexibility, and you don't have to worry about time and money quite so much. Obviously, you still got to worry about time because you've still got other things to do, but at least the time isn't costing you money while you're producing.
So tell me more about your debut single called Just Passing Through.
Yes, Just Passing Through. It's one of my favourites on the album. Obviously, that's why I released it as a single. But it's I released it back in February. As you say, it was my debut release. And it was influenced, I suppose, by some traditional Irish music and combined some sort of Irish instrumentation like the bodhrán and the banjo with a basic stick pattern. The idea for the stick pattern I got from Kate Bush, actually. One of her songs, she uses sticks in it, and I quite like the idea of that, and basically combined it with sort of synth drone, and the idea was to try and pull it all together and give it a sort of slightly mysterious edge. So the song itself, obviously standalone single, but it actually, on the album, it forms part of a story, if you like. So lyrically, it introduces the idea of love being temporary, and sort of 1 minute we think we've found love, but then it can disappear in a moment. And that, well, you'll have to wait for the album to see how that fits in with the rest of the story.
So can you tell me more about Better For Me?
Yeah, Better For Me. It was released in April. So this is my second single. It's really, really unusual for me, actually, because it's a really upbeat, optimistic song. And traditionally, you're going to laugh at me now, but traditionally I've always been somebody who writes really sad, melancholy styles of songs. I love songs with sadness, depth, melancholy, mystery, all that sort of thing. So Better For Me is just a completely weird one in that sense. But as I've said on my social media to people, the inspiration was my husband. And basically the idea was that he is better for me and he makes me a better person. So that's how that one actually came about.
So where do you get your inspiration for songwriting?
All sorts of places. I think traditionally I've always written with guitar, so it's been a very sort of very folk based singer-songwriter basis that I've come from. Inspiration wise, my main inspiration through the years, but especially leaning to this album, was Kate Bush, as I mentioned before, with the stick pattern on Just Passing Through. And I just love the sort of eclecticness about her songs, and the way well, to me, songs are stories, and that's exactly what she does, and obviously many other singers as well. So inspiration can come from just little phrases I hear, books that I read, videos that I watch videos. That makes me sound really old now, doesn't it? So yes, it's videos. It wasn't even DVDs. I went right back to videos then. So, but yeah, films that I watch, and just anything really. But a lot of, I suppose, life experience comes into them as well. So not as a straight song, but I can pull bits of my own experiences into songs and then elaborate on those as well.
So can you tell me more about your latest single that's going to be very released soon on the 28th of June called Fallout of Love?
Yes, yes. So as you say, being released Friday the 28th of June. It's a complete contrast to the two that I've released so far. So the others have been quite sort of upbeat but faster paced, and this pulls back to a sort of very simple piano arrangement, but just with lots of vocal layers. And that's one of the things I really love doing with my music, playing about with vocals and trying to put lots of vocal layers into songs. But in terms of the lyrics, the song, as the title suggests, is about falling out of love, and it sort of describes the heartache experience when you fall out of love with somebody, but even when you both know that the relationship isn't the right one, say. But there's a lot of sort of imagery from the seashore in that one as well.
So can you tell me more about your debut album released on the 26th of July?
On the 26th of July, yes. So not long now. I've got an album. It's going to be, well, it is called 3 Scarlet Words. So I can tell you that much. And the title refers to basically how those 3 little words, I love you, sort of work themselves through and entwine themselves into almost every aspect of life, whether that be learning to love yourself, falling in love, heartbreak, loss, and that side of things. So it's the idea of the album is that it takes you on a journey through different aspects of love, and specifically looks at its impact on an individual, that's sort of like the protagonist, if you like, and how she goes through this, I suppose, sequence of needing to love herself before she can love anybody else, how love is really transient and she goes through heartache, the loss, and then starts to find love and then finally believes in herself. So that's a very quick rundown of how it all fits together.
So have you any plans or maybe in the future to work with any other artist, doing a collab with another artist?
I'd happily work with other artists. I have to say, I am a bit of an introvert, so I do actually love working by myself. If you just sat me in this room by myself for weeks on end, I wouldn't actually complain. But at the same time, I do like working with people as well and getting ideas from other people. So, you know, if anybody wants to say hi and wants to collaborate, then yes, please feel free.
So I know your voice is instrument, so I'm guessing you'll play the guitar and the piano. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. I wouldn't say I'm fabulous at either, but I do play guitar, piano. I play the bass on my tracks as well, and then a lot of it is sort of synths and other instruments, which I'm sure everybody will hear when they run out and purchase the album when it comes out.
So are you looking forward to releasing your debut album?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Sorry, Ruben, did I interrupt?
No,
okay. It has been a long time coming. I started writing it in the second year of my master's degree, as part of my final project. And so I was hoping to release it earlier this year, but there's been an awful lot going on. It's been a really, really busy year. But I suppose one of the things I mentioned was that I'm really sort of like chomping at the bit to start work on another album as well. But obviously I need to get this one all sorted, all released and everything first. So once this one's out, it'll be exciting, but it'll also be a little bit of a relief as well, because it's been there in the background for so long.
Have you thought about doing a few gigs to promote your album?
Oh, people keep asking me this, and my introverted nature goes, oh no, don't do it. But I am thinking about it, and I think I'd probably do more of a semi-acoustic type of set. So maybe watch this space on that one.
There's some very good venues around the UK, especially around Birmingham, Worcester area.
Absolutely, definitely.
So, can you tell me, how has it been an independent artist for you?
Hard work. And I think those two words just sum it up. I've spoken to lots of people in the past and read lots of things about independent artists before, and I knew it was going to be hard work, but I think until you actually start doing it, you don't realise how much hard work is involved. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, they've recorded a song and that's it, they've released it. And there's just so much to it. It's not just about writing the songs, pulling the tracks together. You've got all the production, you've got all the mixing, you've got the mastering, you've got the social media, you've got all your PRS, PPL, distribution. It feels like a little bit of a never-ending sort of I don't know, a little hamster wheel, and you're just constantly pedaling away all the time just to keep on top of everything. So it is really, really hard work. So kudos to any other independent artists out there, because I know everybody works really hard to do what they do.
So finally, can some listeners, where can they find you on your social media?
Oh, you can find me all over the place on my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I've got videos on YouTube as well. I have got slightly different handles. But did you want me to let people know the handles, or are you going to pop those up afterwards?
You can let my listeners know.
Okie dokie. So my Instagram, my Twitter and my TikTok handles are all at Christine underscore, I'll get my teeth in today, Christine underscore Corau, which is Corau. Facebook is at christine.corau.music, and YouTube is at Christine Corau.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
It's been great chatting to you today.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, and you, Ruben. Thank you ever so much.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.